Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Ilse sent me a letter, thank you very much, a few days back. She looked at me with a serious face and she said to me, you should not speak more than 10 minutes. So I tried to do it within 10 minutes. And she also sent me a letter in which she said, of course there is a new manifesto, but it's up to you. You can, I'm free to choose to address that manifesto or outside the manifesto. I have taken the freedom to do that. To introduce myself, my name is Prabhu Kandachar. I am working, a colleague of TU, and I'm working in a different school of design engineering, and I'm a design engineer. I'm a technical man, I'm not a physicist, I'm not a philosopher, I'm not a policy man. So that way, I'm not going from policy to action, I'm going from action to policy. So maybe a different way of looking at it. But nevertheless, I'm afraid I've come almost to the same conclusions as Professor Sufi, in spite of a different route which I've taken, but I'll talk about it. Okay, this is me. Oh, my interest is sustainability. My objective is sustainability at the global level. And at the same time, I'm aware of the context which you have given me, both innovation and development. I'm interested in mobilizing both innovation towards sustainability, and at the same time I'm interested in development. The combination of innovation and sustainability, that's where I'm interested. As I said, the context you already provided, your manifesto has provided that, and it is innovation, sustainability, and development. I will try to be within that framework. To start with, the development. On the right extreme side, you see a pyramid, which is actually a sort of world economic pyramid. And if you look at it, there are 4 billion people who are very poor, and about the rich part is about half a billion or maybe 1 billion. The bottom portion used to be called bottom of the pyramid, and the people from the bottom of the pyramid did not like it, so they changed to the base of the pyramid. And as you can see there are different countries. Examples are given there, really that from our point of view, with very low income. But at the same time, as I said earlier, there are a lot of innovations going on which you don't even know what innovations are going on. It could, and those countries are quite sustainable in the sense that those countries are very, very old countries, so they've been living for thousands and thousands of years, and they have found their own ways to be friendly with nature and all those things. So we can learn a lot from it. Sustainability is another one, and innovation is the thinking power. But that, what I'd like to say, having involved in this kind of projects, or 80 projects we have carried out, one of the examples which you showed was that live straw is actually a straw in which you can drink any dirty water. You'll get clean water, and it lasts for about 2 years almost, and it costs about $2. And that's expensive for people in Africa, where you try to implement it. So that's one example. I did not bring too many examples because of 10 minutes restrictions. And anyway, from observations of all these projects, what I see is on the development side, as we mentioned, the population is increasing like mad, 50% in 50 years. It's from 6 to 9 billion. And at the same time, part of this population, there is also an affluent middle class, growing also like countries like India, China, Brazil, so-called big countries. And their disposable income to afford non-essential products is also increasing. And they happen to be watching what the rich countries are doing, and they are mimicking the behavior of the rich countries, which they think that is a nice way to do. And that has resulted, amongst our own contribution to each part, a lot of consumption increase. All those things you know. So on one side you see that sustainable, we have a limited amount of resources in the whole world, global level. At the same time, the number of people who would like to utilize the resources are possible. Obviously, how to go ahead with this? Is there possibility of technological innovations, business innovations, consumer innovations, government innovations? These are the things which keeps me busy. So I feel the challenges are, I can say also opportunities. One of the opportunities is not looking at these sectors separately, as Bruno said. I think a systemic innovation is needed where all the sectors have to work together. That's one thing I'd like to propose. Secondly, I would like to propose is the business also has responsibility, in which the so-called business building activity, developing new and improved products, services for maximizing societal value, minimizing environmental costs. That's where I'm interested, that's what I'm working on. All those examples, we start from the people. This is all human-centered design. What do people want? Once we understand it, only then we can involve the business people to get those ideas converted into products and get manufactured and brought to the people. It's not that the original BOP thinking, many people think that BOP is actually top-down. It's true. That's how Prahlad discovered. He proposed multinationals to go there and but that means it's again looking from the top down, but we are working from bottom up. In this process, we are working with the consumers, working with the retailers, marketeers, policymakers, NGOs, etc. That's about business side. But don't forget the consumers, you and me. We need to influence the consumer attitudes and behaviors. And as I said, the middle class is increasing. There's also the superfluous consumption is increasing. The superfluous consumption has to be somehow discouraged. And they do have here and there, if you look properly, sustainable lifestyle. And if you can identify them and promote lifestyle, that also helps. And government, well, I'm a little bit disappointed about the government. I would like to request them to stop telling the poor countries that they are consuming too much, they are emitting too much, whereas the rich countries are actually emitting a lot. I think they have to reduce, and of course the poor countries also have to manage their consumption, but anyway, the difference between the emission of the environmental degradation, environmental contribution of the rich countries compared to poor countries is enormous. Having said all these things, I was asked to give one sentence or two sentences to the United Nations. So this is my recommendation to the United States. People are most important, and they have some rights. And please let us discourage superfluous consumption and promote sustainable lifestyles. Thank you.